What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel where we bring you Splinterlands content every single day. And we do stream over on Twitch every single day as well at This Is After Sound. So come by, say hello. And we do giveaways every day on the stream. We do giveaways here every Monday. So if you do leave a comment, please make sure to put your in-game username in the comments so that I can send you a little something in the game. Okay, so let's dive right in. We had another AMA yesterday. It sounds like they're going to be every Friday. I believe that was the schedule. I guess they maybe just took a couple Fridays off. Again, I've only been following this for maybe 5 to 6 weeks now. So we're doing another AMA recap, or at least my biggest takeaways from the AMA. It's about an hour and a half long, maybe a little bit more than that. I listened to the first half last night. I listened to the second half this morning, and then I re-listened to the first half again. Just not the actual AMA part, but the portion in which Yaba Matt spoke, Agrod spoke, and then they had some other team members on, I believe, as well. So you guys know how I like to do this. I like to just have a little bit of a visual notes for me, but also a visual for you guys on what my 5 biggest takeaways were. So the first thing that really stuck out to me, and obviously this has been hammered in by the team for so long, but, you know, SPS staking is being reinforced. We know just how much Agrod loves SPS and staking SPS, not just Agrod, but the whole design around what SPS as a governance token is supposed to be. And so let me go ahead and just mute this because I know sometimes there's some stuff that comes through. All right, so that was something that caught my attention because, again, these are just ideas that are being flirted with, but somebody had popped up like, hey, what if, you know, by staking SPS, you know, your ECR is affected in a positive way based on the amount of SPS that you have staked. And Agrod was kind of open to it. And then there were a lot of other things that were kind of thrown out there, but it was more so just the general sentiment. And again, nothing confirmed, but the general sentiment of like, they believe, or at least the team and the devs believe in staking SPS, and that should be, it should benefit the people who stake SPS the most and who stake the most SPS, right? Like, this is really, you are investing in the game and putting your money in long term. You can't pull it out and dump on the token or whatever the case is. So they want you to stake as much SPS as possible. So the idea that right now it's all about the vouchers, so, you know, that's valuable enough as it is. But in the future, there could be other things. Obviously, the tournaments have become a big one and become a source of frustration for some players, I'm sure, because it's just like, you need to have X amount of SPS staked. Well, you know, the thing is, what I love about SPS is that it is hard capped. It is just like Bitcoin. There will only ever be 3 billion tokens. And I will do a deep dive into the SPS white paper, just like I did with DEC at some point. But there are only 3 billion tokens, 240 million in circulation right now. And so the fact that there will only ever be 3 billion tokens means that there won't be enough to go around. There's not enough to go around right now. The price keeps going up. It's a deflationary asset in that sense because it is hard capped. So I like the idea of different benefits being thrown out there, and we're seeing so much innovation happening within the game just in the past couple of weeks and the lead up to Chaos Legion. And obviously for players that have been around for a while, there's been a ton of innovation. So with land coming down the line, with Riftwalkers potentially around the corner after Chaos Legion is fully released, with this voucher system, again, you know, SPS is important. And I think it is one of those things that I'm trying to get my hands on as many SPS tokens as possible and get those staked in game. All right. So that was reinforced. I thought that was a good point, and that is point number 1. Number 2 was really, really cool. I forgot the gentleman's name, but I believe is the first person who came on aside from Agrod, and was talking about the lore, the creative director. I think is it Cryptomancer? Maybe. But just talking about the lore of Splinterlands, and you know, essentially, if I may quote / summarize, is saying that to this point, it's really just been used as a backdrop, but they want to make the story so much more, right? There's this new race that we're seeing in these reward cards, the Venari, right? And there's going to be this whole storyline of what happens with Venari, and, you know, talking about Pretoria, the continent that is going to be unveiled with 150,000 land plots in it. and kind of how the map is arranged and all this stuff, and where people's plots will be, and the different types of regions and land available, and that kind of goes into the next topic as well. But somebody even threw this out there again, nothing confirmed, but somebody was just like, man, it'd be cool if there was like a Netflix series or an animated Netflix series. And Agro mentioned, right, like, there are people, and I'm one of them, there are people who grew up on the Pokemon animated series and made such an impact and grew the player base so much, right? So that's really cool. I love the idea of that, and I love the fact that the team is thinking that big, right? That's what makes me excited. Again, I came as an investor first, a player second. So to hear those types of things where it's just like, Splinterlands is not just a game. Splinterlands is a brand, right? It's a brand that will be beyond just potentially this game, right? To the actual card game that we're playing right now. This could be something humongous. And taking it back to the first point, that's why, like, buying SPS and staking SPS feels as though I'm buying shares in a startup. And I'm gonna, I mentioned this because I really try to think about like how I'm approaching this from an investor mindset, and people have asked me about that. Because I'm balancing this line as a player and as an investor. So I feel like maybe I'll try to collect my thoughts on that more succinctly, and do a separate video on like how I'm viewing this as an investment versus a player, and why I'm making certain moves the way that I am, and what are the things that excite me about this game, not just as a player, but also as an investor, right? So that is one of the things, the fact that they're thinking that big. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's super cool. Okay, so leading into the next one, there was a lot of talk about land discussion as well. Basically, it was saying if you have a region, I don't. I'm sure a lot of people don't, because there's not that much land to go around. 150,000 plots, and some people own regions, some people own tracks, which I think tracks are like 100, and then I think regions are worth 1,000 or include 1,000 lands. So it's land is going to be a very, very interesting dynamic that's added in. I am cautiously optimistic. Let me put it that way. I'm cautiously optimistic on how it'll be introduced. When I say cautiously, I have full faith in the team being able to deliver an awesome product around land, especially with the amount of time that they have and the resources that they have now to really focus in on it. And that was another one of the kind of topics around land, is just, now they have the people. They mentioned this last AMA as well, but now they have people that are focusing specifically on land, right? Or they're getting people who can focus specifically on land and not putting out fires everywhere, which I think is great. So there's a lot of really cool points that were brought up about land and how that's going to play into the lore, and how all the different plots that you might have will provide different things. And there was a comment made and echoed also by Agro, which was like, sometimes it's better to be a specialist rather than a generalist, right? Because all these different plots of land are going to offer different abilities or spells or resources that they'll give to you. And people are here trying to like buy as many plots of land and hoping to get the most diverse range of lands. But there's, as you can tell, the ecosystem in this game is phenomenal, and I think the ecosystem will only enhance further once land is out there. And so one of the suggestions that they were making is to be a specialist and not a generalist. Try to get all the same types of lands and really specialize in that, and then be the market provider for that, where you can not monopolize, but dictate the price and be somebody who can do it in that way. So that was a really cool perspective. I haven't been thinking that much about land. So that's something that I will need to do a little bit more of a deep dive in. And there are some other YouTubers out there who have made fantastic videos. So I would highly suggest you checking them out. I cannot think, Crypto Llama. I want to give a shout out to Crypto Llama, because I watched one of his videos, and he talked about land and really got me thinking about land in a much more broad way. So definitely check out Crypto Llama. Does awesome content. And yeah, so number 4, airdrop points rising. This was fascinating, because this is going to go in, and I know all the DEC bulls out there are so mad at me for the video I put out yesterday, where it's just like, why are you being so bearish on DEC? Guys, I'm telling you, I'm trying to just read you the white paper, okay? But DEC has value because of the airdrop. The airdrop is only going to last for 365 minus 75 days, right? Whatever that ends up being. 365 minus 75. We have 290 days divided by 30. We have almost 9.5 months of the airdrop left. Then it's done. So, DEC, after that, what is the value outside of being the currency in game, right? You will not be getting airdrop points. Now, the interesting thing, and let's go here, and I will pull up my wallet here, or no, the SPS here. You can see the total airdrop points are 7.9 billion at this point. I think when I started, even just 6 weeks ago, it was a little over 7 billion. And one of the points that somebody brought up, one of the questions that they brought up was, hey, when Chaos Legion is out, and let's say nobody opens their packs, and even if they do, this is going to affect it in the same way too. But let's say nobody were to open their packs and everybody just holds it for the airdrop points. Now there are 300 airdrop points times 15 million packs that will be released. So that just by itself is going to add 4.5 billion airdrop points, which means the DEC that you are holding and even the collection power that you have is going to devalue by that much, right? At least with collection power, well, no, actually, it's the same thing. So it's not like I'm just hating on DEC, but the overall pool of airdrop points, your denominator is going to increase by, let's see, I think this is like 60%. Let's just do 7.9 billion. Yeah, almost 60%, right? So this is what I'm talking about, where it's like inflationary in that sense, where the value of whatever you're holding in your collection power right now is going to go down and down and down. And so therefore, in the long run, this is why I keep saying, if it's just about airdrop points, I would rather be holding the cards because the cards will retain their value. Whereas DEC is going to lose its value over time as an airdrop point, right? So that was an interesting thing that was brought up. I hadn't even thought about that. I knew that I'd been seeing the airdrop points creep up, but the fact that it's going to jump up by 4.5 billion just with the packs alone, let alone any other things that they might release or the cards that will come out, I believe might have more collection power or more airdrop points than the actual packs, right? So once those cards start opening up, we are going to see the total system airdrop points rise, which means that if your total airdrop points are not rising in proportion with that, you are going to be getting less and less SPS from your airdrops between now, or between the release of Chaos Legion and the end of the airdrop, which is going to be next summer sometime. All right, so that was a point that was brought up that I hadn't thought about with actual numbers, but now we have them. Just the packs alone is going to increase it almost 60%. All right, last one. This is just a short one. They did announce the number of cards that would be released by Splinter. So there's going to be 4 commons, 3 rares, 2 epics, 1 legendary. I believe each Splinter is going to have a rare summoner and a legendary summoner. So I guess that's how it breaks down, but I think the legendary summoners might come afterwards or might be part of the airdrop. Don't quote me on that. These are just the numbers that were given out by Aggroed, and I assume these would probably be the ones that are coming in the packs. So sounds very similar. I haven't checked exactly, but it sounds very similar to what they did with Untamed. And yeah, so look, the AMA had way more than just that. If you are in this game, both as a player and or as an investor, I highly recommend you taking the time. I was just trying to call the things that, for me and have been following, for me as somebody who's been following this for a couple of weeks now, these are things that kind of jumped out to me while I was listening and made me say, oh, whoa, like I hadn't thought about it that way. I hadn't put 1 and 1 together to show that it actually equal 2. You know what I mean? So that's where we are at. The SPS staking reinforced, the lore that's coming out, more land discussions, which is very exciting because I have a feeling, just because of how land has been delayed, or it seems it's been delayed since it was first brought up, I believe in 2020, or yeah, at the end of 2020 is I think when they sold land for the first time. The fact that it's been delayed to a certain point, I feel like there is this priority and focus. And I wonder, once Chaos Legion is out, I know that Rift Watchers is around the corner, and Rift Watchers is going to be the mini edition released in between. So similar to how Dice was the one that was released after Untamed, just had a smaller subset of cards. I have a sneaking suspicion that the focus will be on getting land out and into the world before Rift Watchers. I could be wrong, but there just seems to be this renewed focus and priority around land, and I love that because this is something that a lot of people are excited about. It can fundamentally change so many things about the game, and I think it'll be a fantastic addition to what is to come. And then just to round it out again, we got the airdrop points rising. I thought that was a big thing that I hadn't thought about, and then the number of cards. So check it out. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's anything that you guys heard in there that was just so outrageous and that it's even more outrageous I didn't include it in my takeaway list. I would love to hear that. Throw it in the comments below, and make sure to leave your in-game username. And for those of you out there who aren't subscribed, I would ask you to please consider liking and subscribing. It does help the channel. It's a free and easy way to support the channel. So if you're finding value with this content and want to see more, please consider it. And then, yeah, we'll be doing another giveaway on Monday. I'll be doing my weekly Q&A. So leave your questions, leave your comments in the comments section below, and leave your in-game username so that I can send you a little something in the game. It's going to be DEC right now. And guys, DEC just hit 0.0125. So it hit a penny just in the past week, and now it's up 25%, even higher than that. So for all of you guys holding a massive amount of DEC, I am so happy for you guys. Again, I'm hearing it in the comment section about why I'm so bearish on DEC and all that stuff. So like, guys, I am bullish on this game. I'm just trying to share the information about DEC with you. So if you have made the greatest trade and you bought DEC at 0.001 and now you're up 12x, I am so happy for you. Honestly, genuinely, I'm happy for you. I just want you to be cautious moving forward and not get wrecked. All right, guys, that's all I have. Have a great one. I will see you in the next video, and I will see you around the game.